By now, some of you must have noticed that I'm a very big fan of okra soup. So I always think of different ways to make my okra, just so I don't keep using the same method all the time. So in today's video, I would like to show you how I made this special and delicious okra soup. This is not the usual method you used to know. So for all my ingredients, I'll be using 1 Scotch bonnet pepper. You can use more or less depending on how spicy you like your food. I have my half sliced onion. I have some crayfish, about 3 tablespoons. I have my cow foot here. I have my Okro, which is stockfish, and it has been soaking in this water for some time now. I have my pomo. Oh my goodness, I miss pomo. I'm glad I found it today. So here I have my tripe. This is cow tripe, or you can call it shaki. Here I have my goat meat, and here I have my chicken. All this meat was cut by my husband. Thank you so much. I have my seasoning cubes, and here is the key ingredients to this soup: my banga, palm nut concentrate. I have some salt. I have my frozen and fresh spinach. Under it I have my frozen spinach there, and here is my okra, blended, sliced, chopped, grated. Different methods are here, but I'll explain why later in this video. So let's get cooking, guys. Over here I'm going to be adding my stockfish into a pot. Pour enough water, cover it and place it on the gas. I'm just going to let it cook for 5 minutes only. And then here I'm adding my cow foot together with my chicken. Add some water, cover and let it cook for about 10 minutes because they are the toughest meat here, so I'm starting with those. Now my okporoko, which is stockfish, has boiled for 5 minutes, so I'm going to wash it and set aside. Back to my chicken and the cow foot. It's about 10 minutes now, and I just added my tripe, my pomo, my goat meat, and my washed stockfish. And I also added some water, just a tiny bit of water. Remember, we are going to be adding the banga here, so you don't need too much water. And then I added my sliced onion, my Scotch bonnet, and I'm adding my stock cube. I'm using 3, and inside that 3 we have 6. So in total I used 6 cubes. Then I added some salt, stir it a little bit, cover it and let it cook until the meat is completely cooked. So now it's time to dilute the banga, which is the palm nut concentrate. So I'm going to add it into my pot. You can use a bowl, and then I'm going to pour a very hot water. This water is boiling hot, like a very hot water. So I'm going to mix it until everything dissolves, and then you have a consistency like so. This is exactly the consistency you should be going for. So I'm going to leave it to sit for some minutes. Now my meat, no, not my meat, the meat has been cooking and it's all done now. And I poured in my palm nut concentrate, and this is why you need to go through that process. Can you see all these tiny particles here? I'm sure you don't want to bite into it when you are eating your delicious okra soup, right? So now I added my crayfish. I'm going to mix and taste, and everything was perfect. The seasoning cubes and the salt was just perfect, so I don't need to add more. I let it boil for 5 minutes just so the palm nut concentrate can cook down a bit. I added a little bit of water because the sauce was thick for my liking. So now it's time to add my okra. I have a separate video. I made a separate video on how I processed this okra. you don't necessarily have to go through this process, okay? After watching that video, then you can decide on which method you want to use to process your okra, okay? So here is my soup. I'm still going to be adding some water because it's a little bit thick for my liking. You guys know I don't like thick soup and stews, right? So I tasted it one more time and everything was just okay. I covered it and let it boil for another 5 minutes, and then I add my spinach. Now once you add the spinach, turn off the heat immediately because the heat from the pot is going to cook the spinach, right? So guys, this is our delicious okra soup. I want to tell you guys a little story. When my husband ate this soup, he's not a big fan of okra soup, but I introduced him to okra soup and now he's loving it. But when he tasted this one, he was like, he jokingly said, this is the type of soup my doctor said I should always eat. Like when your husband says something like this, or when your partner says something like this, then you know that you did something right. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. If you like this video, don't forget to click on the like button. If you're new to my channel, please click on the red subscribe button below and turn on your notification bell so you don't miss any of my latest upload.